What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Bona Fide Bullshit, the podcast.
You startled me.
I did? Just a little?
You startled me.
This is episode
24.
24, that is correct. Shout out to everybody each and every week. You know, we
Woman
always
in hot.
give you guys your flowers. We appreciate the love and support, and a whole host of new listeners coming through and showing us love, sending us messages, and all that good stuff. As you can see, this week's shot for our YouTube viewers watching.
It's up close and personal.
It's up close and personal.
But we have a new ring light that my brother gave to me, and hopefully we look fresh.
Hopefully fresh as fuck. It's got the whole little controllable dimmer.
You know what they say, right?
It's mini upgrades.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot.
Yeah, and you're coming in hot. I see what you did there. I picked up what you put down.
You picked it up. You always do.
So yeah, we got another cool episode for you guys. We're going to rock out with you guys here and for your listening pleasure. And this week, coming in hot, we're going to just come in, since we're already up close and personal with the shots.
So up close.
So up close. So much close. The shot I saw my 90-day listeners out there.
You haven't watched me recently. You have a lot to catch up on. There's a lot of shit going down on that
it's
show.
It's the same shit show
It's
repeated
crazy.
over and over. So
no, it's not. There's new shit.
What's different people? But the same drama.
Yeah, but there's new shit. Like, there's new happenings, single, not single, dating,
I'm sure I haven't really missed anything. Trust me, I haven't lost no sleep. So.
Yeah, I know, because you've been sleeping every time I watch. I'm by myself.
I knock out completely. And so to get into...
Look what I brought.
Yeah, let's explain to our listeners what that is. This
is another gift from some of our family. Thank you, Alan, Anna. But so this is a couples game, and I don't know what it's called. It says so it's from a company called The Skin Deep. I don't know if they have other games, but I had seen this on Instagram at some point, and I thought to myself, I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you. I was like, hey, this would be really cool to do. I never got it. I just left my brain, whatever. Before I know it, Al messaged me. He's like, hey, you gotta check this shit out. Look what I got. I'm like, fuck no. I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking about. And he ended up getting it for us because he's the best. So anyways, the company is called The Skin Deep. I don't know what it says on the front, if you guys could see, but it's like and has a little space and couples edition. So anyways, the idea of this is to, connect with your significant other a little bit more. Maybe start
specifically rethink on how to connect.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Yeah. And it really does, because there's so many cards. Like, this is just all cards. That's so much cards.
I'm bored.
Be serious. This is a serious moment.
Stop 90.
Okay, we have to stare at each other for 30 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so there's a bunch of cards and ask so many questions that will get you to start a conversation, whether it's stuff that you want to talk about or that you haven't, or things that you just are trying to learn about your partner after so many years. Maybe you've disconnected and are trying to reconnect. Maybe you're just not, the kind of person that talks about this kind of stuff all the time. I know I'm not. So it's hard for me to open as to stuff like this. So what you do with this game, and we're not going to do the whole spiel right now, but because you have to first, when you start the game, you have to look into your partner's eyes.
Dirt.
And you have to look at them for 30 straight seconds. Just you don't say anything. Total and complete silence.
Yes. Just
so you kind of get there.
You know what I mean? You just kind of spiritually
bind
it. You know what I mean? Like you're taking this serious, and honestly, this is to me, it's a very great icebreaker. You know how everybody says have that icebreaker to have that conversation, because there's stuff in a relationship, as we mentioned before in many episodes. It's there's certain things, trials and tribulations, stuff that couples go through as you grow, but it's a matter of how you get through that growth together. You know what I mean?
And sometimes there's things lurking inside you that you're oh, that's why you are the way you are, and it's you don't want to talk about it because you're oh, it'll cause a fight. Why are you bringing up old shit? You know what I mean?
The timing of it, let's say,
and the timing, it comes up at weird times when you already are fighting or something that.
Yeah, let's say we're just hanging out in the living room, we're just sitting down watching TV, and it's
by the way, hey, you remember when you did that with that girl, and now I'm totally fucked in the head?
I think this is crazy?
Like that.
I find it funny when, it's not that approach where it's subtle and pissed off.
So it makes it a little easier. It's a softer way into a conversation.
So I said, it's a very good icebreaker to go ahead. And And we obviously didn't get through all because you hand
out. There's so many. Like I just grabbed like a quarter of one side.
Yeah.
And this is it. Like who thinks of these questions?
And some of these
are for, so many.
You stated earlier, married couples that are dating. You know, so some of the questions range from
it's
different
for everyone, you guys. Gay, straight, fucking
love has no boundaries.
Throupling, sister wifing per TLC. I mean, whatever you do, this is for you guys to fucking start a conversation.
It's got these cool little symbols at the top with each card that kind of designate the subject. So like you got the heartbreak, so it might be something that's a heartbreaking conversation.
There's a middle finger, which is my fave, obviously.
You have the rewinding back time clock. You know,
babies.
You can see your top clock going back. The babies.
Yep. Yeah. We're gonna do one.
There's a hearing. There's a diamond. You know, stuff that's like you know.
Get ready.
Yeah, so there's just a regular harp amongst the heartbreaks. So
okay,
there's a bunch of different ones that are real cool in there.
We already gazed into each other's eyes before this.
I'm always gazing at you and staring at you in amazement.
Okay, I'm going to pick one at random, and we could just do it just so you guys get a feel for what this is like. And you could pick however many cards. The last time we played this weekend with our friends, we had 4 each, okay? And 2 couples. Before
you get into this, which is a kind of a cool dynamic, because I know this could be maybe meant just for one-on-one, but having another couple and not just
who you are very close to, you know what I mean?
Like saying, like you're very
no
close
judgment,
to, no judgment, but being there to hear their side of something that's going on, being able as another couple to give your side. It's therapeutic on both ends.
Totally.
So it's not like let's sit there and let's see what's going on, let's see what kind of drama, because it's not. You guys are both on even planes because you're gonna put some of your shit out there.
Not at all.
They're gonna put some of your shit out there. I mean their shit out there. Excuse me. And it's like it's one of those things of like. If you're family, you're close, you know, Al's my brother, the big brother that I never had that I do have now, Anna's my sister, and it's like, you know, both of them together, us together, and us.
Al's like my brother and my best friend. I don't want to make you feel bad, but it's just how it is.
Oh, that's so. Cool. He's also the godfather of my son, so level up.
Oh, really? Our son? Because I'm pretty sure it came out of my vagina.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure that I missed
Positive.
That? Oh, okay.
Proof.
But yeah, what I'm getting at.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding. Oh, you finally got a quote. 24 episodes in and you finally have an Eli-ism quote.
Yeah, it's a quote.
Yeah, it is.
Because I like.
And you took onus of that.
Because I make my own shit up. Like I don't use other people's quotes.
No, that's the proof is in the pudding. Something that's known like nationally.
I know. So like it's my first because
so
I usually
do that
like,
when you took onus
up.
of it and you came out strong with that. So I appreciate that.
Okay,
but yeah, anyways, what I was getting at. Hold on. What I was getting at, just in general, it was a cool dynamic to do it that way, and it also, like I said, because you could give it from another couple's perspective that you know that's not going to mean any type of harm, any type of hate, any type of judgment.
Like constructive criticism. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes when you are friends with a couple, sometimes you tend to talk one or the other more. So you hear one side as opposed to the other side as well. So it's just nice to hear honesty in every couple. And, you know, it's funny because I talked to Al, was it yesterday? And we were just like following up on all the whole night. And he's like, dude, that was crazy. He's like, he's like, and he had told me, he's like, I know a lot of, people look at you guys and you're like, oh, you guys are so happy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just because we don't put our fights on social media doesn't mean it's not happening. It's all those fights and all the stupid shit that everyone goes through and sometimes we see on Facebook or somewhere else or whatever. It's still happening between us. It's just not on there. We don't choose to put it on there. You know what I mean?
It's just not our style. Like, that's something you handle in the house. Like, I hate when couples, there's a specific couple that I've seen come up before on my feed where it's like, the one to put the other one in the blast, and like I'm done with them, whatever, and then like 2 days later they're hanging out.
And then you find yourself like having some chips or popcorn, and you're like, this is fucking good.
Yeah, you're like, this is entertainment. Be a shit show, Mr. He ain't shit, Mr. She ain't nothing. Yeah. But then 2 days later, and it's like you look more like a fool doing that. So
it's your fault for putting it on there, guys. Because if you put it on there, I'm gonna read it. Yeah. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read every single comment.
Or like watching Jersey Shore and seeing Ronnie with his whole escapades that was going on, and they were like, hey, what's going on, Ronnie? I don't know, check TMZ. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, keep that shit in-house, take care of that in-house. Like, that's the way it's meant to be handled. You handle your in-house issues in-house, not out in front of everybody.
Right. But, like I was saying, it's nice to hear stuff from other people, because you see that they're just like you. We're all just like each other.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of relationship you're in, we all deal with the same kind of relationship bullshit that we're all trying to get through. So we're going to do one as an example. Okay, you ready?
Go for it.
Hopefully it's not a crazy one. I'm sweating. Okay.
It's that full fucks fur you
got. Yeah, okay, ready? It's full fucks. It's faux fur. Okay, what concerns you the most about our dynamic? That's a good one. This is a really good one. See, guys, at the top, there's like a little heartbreak. So I guess it just means, it's something like in your heart that, maybe, I don't know, bothers you want to talk about. What bothers you? Do you want to
go first? Yeah,
okay.
I need to see.
I'll go first. This is easy for me. What bothers me most is that it's something I also love about you. It's one of my favorite things about you. Is that you're so funny and you make me laugh fucking all the time. Sometimes at times I don't even feel like laughing. It just catches me off guard and I'm like crying and snorting, doing all my weird noises. But at the same time, what also concerns me is that you joke all the time. What I love about you is that you joke all the time. What I can't stand about you sometimes is that you joke all the time. And it's just, that's what it is. Like sometimes when I just want to be serious, when I want to have a serious conversation, when I'm not in the mood, like sometimes you're just joking like all the fucking time and I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like be serious, or, you know, just love me, or be gentle with me, or, you know, have a little empathy for me, or, you know, just something that is a complete opposite of being a jokester. That would probably be my biggest concern, honestly. I don't have many huge concerns about you. It's probably more like the concern is probably more on my end and because of my personality and who I am. But like, as far as you, that it really is, I mean, as of now that we've grown older and matured and stuff like that, that's probably my biggest concern now.
I mean, honestly, I'm trying to think of something that's ever been alarming where I'm like, this is going to concern. Like, I'm trying to think.
Like red flag?
Yeah, and I really can't think of nothing.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like you could say, you know, you're super stubborn and I don't know if I could deal with that the rest of my life. Like, well, it could be like
I was kind of borderline thinking that because I know sometimes we joke about it. You say things like, and he puts up with my antics and he puts up with my shit, blah, blah, blah.
This is rude. I feel like this is rude.
You know, and I think like if there's anything that sometimes that I always want to deliver for you because you do so many great things here in our home. You do a lot.
You mean high expectations?
Yeah, sometimes the expectations when it's certain things where it's like I'll hyperventilate. I'm like, oh my god,
okay,
oh my god, I better make sure I buy this. Oh my god, I better make sure I plan this.
Let's specify what you're talking about. It's birthday time. That's what you're talking about. Not just
any holiday, whether it's birthday time,
but that's what you usually have anxiety
about. Big
events,
but yeah, because it's like I get anxiety to the point where like I really want to deliver for you because, like I just said again before I said what I said was. You do so much fucking things for the boys and myself. You handle shit for us. So it's like, you deserve it, but I know it's something that your expectation with the bar is set so high. And then I catch myself trying to meet that bar, but at the same time, like, stressing the fuck out to meet that bar. So I guess that'd be something.
I get that, but I feel like sometimes you stress your own self out because, like, I get it. Like, my love language, I know, is, like, gifts. And that doesn't always, like we've talked about this before, that does not mean expensive gifts. It could be like, I went to the dollar store and got you all your favorite things from the dollar store. And I'll be like, oh my God, I love that. You know, like, but I think in your head, you overthink because that's just how you are. Yeah, you're a worrier, you're a lover. Yeah. Like, that's just how you are. And so you worry. But like those little things, like for my birthday, you got me beautiful cake. You got me a sweatshirt that I've been wanting to get for forever from Viva La Bonita. And they've been sold out. Like, those things are like, all right, you know, you listen to me, you know, like that's what
I always say no when you say certain things. I always try to take a
note. It's not like you better buy me like some Louboutin so I could wear it on my night out and I'll just fall over because I don't know.
That was you like circa 10 years ago.
That was me circa 10 I know. Remember when I had like a whole wall of heels? Yeah. Now it's sneakers.
And the craziness of the Louis and the Gucci's and all that stuff. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem. I think we should. Yeah. Let's go ahead and we still got some time here. Well, let's do one more.
You want to do? Okay, you pick one then. Okay.
Let me see. That was a good one. It was kind of.
This is a good one.
Yeah. Let's see. We're playing here. And where can people buy this thing at? I don't even know. Right? Probably like.
It's online. You buy it on. No, it's not a Target. You buy it online. Like go to Instagram and go to. Oh, just kidding.
Is it at the Skin Deep?
It's up at _Skin Deep. And that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So we'll tag them. This is not like a promotion or anything. We literally just got this as a gift. And this game is like amazing. I'm super excited.
Like I said, there's things we find awesome that we want to share with folks.
Yeah, I cannot thank Al enough for ordering this for us. This fucking game is the shit. It's really amazing.
Okay, here's another good one. We're 2 for 2 right now.
What's the little emoji thing at the
top? The little top, it's got a little baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it says, what scared you the most about becoming a mother or father? Obviously, becoming a mother. What scares you the most?
Oh, that's heavy. Okay, so let me just say, like, when we first played this game with our friends, like, literally the first question, I was, like, crying.
And you're about to write.
You're like... It like brings out some shit in you that you usually don't fucking talk about. And it's a lot. Anyways, okay, moving on. So what scares me the most about, having a kid, right? Or being a mother, father. Specifically, when it comes to the kid we have together that I birthed from both of our juices, I was scared because my eldest is from a previous relationship, and I always thought that I couldn't love them the same. And I didn't think I would be, for the longest time, I feel like I would be some fuck up of a mother. Because I had a previous relationship. I have this one kid. We're trying to figure out how to parent together. Now I'm like, hey, guess what? You know, you have a new dad, which anyways is his only dad because that's who he knows. But that probably is what scared me the most, is having two different children from two different fathers and not knowing how to love them the same, and having different relationships, not only with them, but the father. So
good. Honestly, when the first thing that comes to mind is, for me, is living up to their expectations. You know, the first go-to for everybody, it's that, you know, when you bring life into this world, it's like, am I going to be able to take care of him or her? Am I going to be able to make sure that they always have clothes on their back, a roof over their head? You know, those are the givens that are off the bat, but I want to be able to live to their expectations. I had this conversation with my oldest Martin last summer, and he was talking to me about like how he sees sometimes when we go out somewhere and people recognize me and they're like, oh shit, you know, DJ, like, oh, he did this, and oh my god, I know him from this, and they start throwing, you know, giving all these kudos and stuff, and he's like, oh, it must feel so cool. And I looked at him and I said, you know, I don't care what they say. Like, it's cool to show love, I show love back, but I care about what you and your brother think of me. I says, I want to be able to, God forbid, the time that my life expires on this earth and that I'm no longer here, that you and your brother could look at each other and say, you know what, our dad was awesome, our dad did this with us, our dad did that with us, our dad was, you know, it's all of the above for us. And
what was the question that we had over the weekend? It was also about kids, and you had said something like, you know, it's important to me because they carry on like my legacy.
Yeah, it's creating legacy for them to carry on for you. But it's just more or less me leaving a great impression on them, knowing that they could grow up and be like, you know, man, I'm gonna do this just like my dad, or I'm gonna handle this like my dad. You know, when I was young, my dad did this with me. You know, when I have a lot of moments where it's my dad didn't do this with me, so that's why I create these moments with both my boys now, because it's stuff that my father and I didn't get to do for obvious reasons and situations that took place.
And I think because you don't want them to be saying things like you do or feel about your father, like, oh, I wish he did this, or I wish he wasn't like this. Like, you don't want them to have like a lot. Like, none of us are perfect, but you don't want them to have like a laundry list of like, oh my dad did this,
a laundry list of like, oh, he did bad, he did this, and it's like I said, I told individuals too, family members of mine, that you know, God bless my father. You know, our relationship is not what it is, but if that time comes and it's his time to pass, like, I'm a real person. Most people that know me in real life, amongst online podcasts, YouTube, all that shit, like, I'm real with you. Like, I'm not gonna be fake with you. So it's like, I'm not gonna wait till the time for you to pass and me to create fake moments that he did this and he did that. Like, I have to keep it real with everybody. He was an asshole. You know, did he handle shit for the house when it came to bills and mortgage wise? Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do as a father. But it's like,
and that's just as adult in general.
But did he do this with me? Did he take me there? Did he partake in this? Did he come see me DJ? Like, that's the shit that's always in my mind. So for me, it's, you know, like I said, being able to the things that I thought about for my boys. It's like, you know, when you're becoming a parent, you're like, man, this is a reflection of me. This is an extension of me. It's a thumbprint. That's why I talked about the legacy over the weekend. Like, that's my thumbprint. The day I'm gone and they're still here and they're gonna have like, that's my fucking thumbprint that's carrying on. And that's, you know, the positive impact that I want to leave. And that's something that scared me. You start to think about it, you're like, man, I don't want to fuck this up. Like, I don't want to do this wrong. Like, I want to do good by them.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's crazy now that you're talking about your dad. It's crazy, you know, the kind of things that relationships like have on people, and just whether it's a relationship between father and son or husband, wife, or whatever. I know I was talking to our neighbor across the way, and I haven't seen her in a while because of pandemic. So she just was like so excited to like talk to me and like talk to someone, really anyone. Excuse me. And she was talking about her and her husband and how they've been married for, God, I think she said like 35, more than that. more than anyways. More 40, yeah. I think anyway, so over like 40 years or something like that. And she was just talking about, she's like, yeah, she's like, the relationship or the marriage has like, that ship has sailed like a long time ago. And they're basically just roommates. And she's like, he's a good guy, but you know, he is, and they're friends. Like they're friends. They live together and they're like legit friends. Roommates, right? You know, they get along though. It's not like they hate each other or anything. But you know, she said that his drinking over the years, excuse me, had really affected him. There's just some things you can't like forgive and forget. And I think and she said, you know, people have suggested like counseling, therapy and stuff like that. And she's like, at my age, which is 71, she just has no interest in doing that. So they'll live the rest of their life as roommates and whatever. So I think it's things like this that creates conversations that could, I don't know, quite possibly. And we've done a lot of things in the past to help our marriage, to quote unquote console and stuff like that. Because communication is just so fucking key, man. Like, and it's not easy. I'm guilty of it. You're super fucking guilty of it. Like, you know, communication is just not easy in general. So sometimes things like this just make it a little a easier way in.
And it's just a very easy way to get in and kind of break that conversation. So for those of you who are dating, for those of you who are married, for those of you who feel you might be in a situation where your significant other and you can't speak on certain subjects, I think I definitely give this a try. You see, we just did 2 live for you guys right now. And
this is how long it takes, though, and even longer, because, you know, obviously if we didn't have the camera on and stuff, we'd probably talk a little bit more in depth to those, you know, to these questions. But you know, when we were playing, like I said, this past weekend, we had 4 cards each. I mean, it was a good couple hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Between the 4 of us talking.
4 couples, or 2 couples, and the 4 of us, I should say. And you just dive into the subject, and some subjects might last a little bit longer because there's more to discuss and more elaborate. And again, like I said, this is something.
Some are fun. Some are fun. Some
are this is warm, not just. I just don't want some of our listeners out there to think that. I mean, we haven't got to the whole deck, but even there were some cards we drew that were like
just this one. Funny, this one on the top. I'm gonna read it. All it says is, "What do you think I want from life?" You know, so that's all like good shit. You know, but again, maybe stuff you don't always talk about. Like, where do you see yourself in so many years? Like, do we want to retire in the same place? Like, are you on board with how I want to live life? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah, so it's like I said again, it's all cool icebreaker stuff. That's why I kind of define it as an icebreaker game, if you want to call it a game, because you're set up like a game, but you're talking about life, which is life's not a game. You know, it's a serious subject. But I think it's very unique. If you guys go ahead and check them out, like I said, I'll make sure to tag them in our post and when
for sure.
Release on YouTube. At least show the folks that created this, show them some love, because I got to give them their flowers. Or their flowers are due, and they really snap with this. I think it's real awesome, and
I know.
Cool.
This this is something we'll definitely bust out here and there, whether it's like a date night or maybe we just have like some alone time before bedtime or something, and you know, you want to talk a little bit, share some shit, you're feeling fucking emotional or some shit, maybe around when I'm PMSing and all my feelings are coming out. Like, I don't know. We definitely will. So
it's a great reconnect. Like I said again, rethink how you connect. It's a great reconnecting game because let's face it, everybody. I know some of our listeners who have full-fledged families and been with their significant other plus 7
you disconnect, right? At some point when life gets crazy, maybe you have kids, you're in the middle of jobs, middle of being. Listen, like we were together, we lost jobs, we found jobs, we lost jobs again, we switched careers, like we had kids, like I mean,
the disconnect can become real, and that's when you got that individual real. That finds you on Facebook from high school, and you're like, I wonder how they're doing, which I find a lot of 50-year-olds on up are going through right now. I was talking to
50-year-olds,
like people that are more who are just getting into Facebook, who are like and older.
Oh yeah,
like the 50 to 60-year-old range. I find
You're
out
seeing them. Oh,
they're like, look who that is. I used to talk to her in high school, and I had a conversation with someone, and obviously, you know, full disclosure, I never give anybody's name out. And I always see individuals. I had a conversation with this individual who was like, yeah, you know, I used to know her in high school. I used to date her. She's looking good. Now, mind you, this guy's got a wife. You know, and it's like, and if shit's going wrong in your relationship, you're not connecting, motherfuckers might go ahead and bloom and send that fucking message.
It's funny that you said that because so when I go to the gym, I drink my pre-workout. And usually when I'm doing that, I'm, you know, answering texts, emails from our business. Sometimes posting like on Instagram, Facebook, business photos, videos, whatever. And yesterday when I got to the gym, I posted something on Facebook and then it like refreshed to like, you know, the newest of my feed. And I saw this guy from high school. I wasn't good friends with him, but anyways, he had some picture like posing. I'm like, man, this dude looks like I sent him a screenshot because I was like, and then I took it was just funny, like the poses he was doing. First of all, like that's all I could focus on was his posing and the clothes. They were very like, I don't know, sketchy.
Uniformish.
Uniformish, and it was like crouched down, like, okay, people on the pod can't see me, but on YouTube they're posing like this, and like
trying to look all hard and shit.
Yeah, and I was like, this is weird. I sent him a screenshot. I'm like, what is this dude doing? I was like, he's posing like he's in prison, and he texts me back. He's like, he is in prison. Don't you see like the
it's
background?
The prison Navy, one's wearing orange. They also wear that navy jean color shirt and Dickies with the background that looked like he was at an adult playground because it's got the big building with a couple of fences.
No, really tall fences. That's why I was like, where is he? And I thought maybe he was like
get locked up.
Is he at the courthouse? And maybe like he just came from court and had like a good
how that's where your mind goes. And I tell folks like this is sometimes she thinks this shit that's just the way she thinks, because she's not naive, but you're just not like
I am naive.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of another word. Like you're just not used to that environment or ignorant to it. Like,
I just thought, maybe he just left the courthouse, had some good news, and was like, boom.
It's like the Jimmy's hot dog experience all over again, where it's like, I'm gonna lock the doors, don't open to nobody, and you're like, what? Why? And I'm like, because this is my old neighborhood and shit gets hot.
It's just funny. That's
it's I don't know. I can't find the word. Like, I find it funny and cute the way, because it's like, she doesn't know any better. It's fine. I got you.
I know.
Like,
legit.
It's gonna be all right.
I know.
Yeah. I was like, that dude's like legit locked up. Like, I can hear Akon singing. Like, he's locked up.
Locked up.
Apparently, they're about to take selfies.
Up. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you sure? Like, maybe he was getting out of jail and someone picked him up and was taking pictures of him. Like, yay, I'm out. Because, like, who's taking photos in jail? You're not allowed to have a camera in jail.
I don't know. There's all kinds of sketchy shit.
I don't know how, those jail
You ever see the TikTokers? They show up in jail doing TikToks in fucking jail?
No, that's what I'm saying. How do they have a phone?
I'm like, how the fuck? They're literally in their prison bunk area, like, all clicked up doing TikToks. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing TikToks in jail? And they're posting them.
Maybe rules are different now. There's got to be some kind of different rules.
Like, who's giving you Wi-Fi? I'm sure it's us taxpayers paying for that Wi-Fi.
Like, maybe it's like one of those, like, oh, if you're, like, good, you get a phone for, like, an hour, and you only have certain things on there. Like, oh, you could text your kid or do a TikTok.
Apparently they don't text their kid. They're doing the TikToks. They come up, and it's funny when I see, because I'm just like, these motherfuckers are in prison, and they're over here slouched up, doused up, doing the whole thing and dancing and whatever. And
that picture was just
the one guy had like a prison cooking show. He's cooking fucking prison meals.
And it wasn't like it was just one photo. It was like multiple shots, like in different poses. So I was like, man, like he was like really feeling. That's like himself,
I know you've never like. I used to. I DJed at a couple of events with you. Hood ass clubs. They do the backdrop with the airbrush, and it'd be like the airbrush with like the Escalade or like the city skyline, and everybody would take a picture there and be like, hey, There's prison ones that are like that.
No, like
where
when
dudes are all clicked up with the background.
When I was younger, we would do like glamour shots, like that.
Nah, I'm talking about.
It's like hood shots, not glamour shots.
I know what you're talking about, little thought shots. Little thought shots. Where it's like little fucking hearts with the little and the filters before filters.
Yeah, we're in the background. Yeah,
and it's like
it's fuzzy because you're like
your homegirl like,
and then you're like this,
hanging out with your girl and shit. Unfortunately, our straight podcast listeners that can't see the poses.
We're gonna post it. I'm gonna take a screen. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
Yeah, and then hopefully you can find that effect. But yeah, those style of pictures. I remember taking it back real quick. Like in middle school, all the girls like handing it out and shit. Like this is me, whatever. And
then you write a little note on the back.
Shit. I never got any of those from my locker. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. You got too many.
You give me one of yours or something.
You got way too many.
But yeah, the prison ones. Yeah, they somehow put up the club. I call it the hood club backdrop with the airbrush design. And
were you doing gang signs right now?
No, I'm doing behind my. Jesus Christ!
I thought you were gang signs. I was like, what are you even doing?
Oh, judge much? Right, just have a few family members, and all of a sudden guilty by association.
No, because like our son was like joking, doing that. I'm like, all right, like listen, calm down. You're in the northwest suburbs of Illinois, and you don't even like. The last time we took Martin to the city, not the last time, but one of the times we took him to the city, and he was like youngish, like
maybe like Eli's age.
Maybe eight-ish or so. We took him to the city. I don't know where we're going, and we drove by like a wall that had a lot of graffiti on it. And what did he say? Why is the wall so dirty, or why are they drawing on it, or something like that, right?
Yeah, he goes, does that mean it's bad, or is that good, or something? I can't remember fully, but yeah.
Yeah, he has the same ignorance as I do.
Naiveness. Why is the guy there asking for the money? He was so young.
Yeah, because you were locking your door.
And now when we recently went a couple weeks ago, he asked, why was there plastic bags in the trees?
Oh.
Remember, yeah, we were, again, I'm not going to say the area, because areas that I was around and grew up in, I was just like, it's just a little extra dirty around here, and shit flies up and it just gets in the...
Why were there bags in the trees? I remember that.
People just, more when you get into that area.
There were a lot of bags.
Yeah, because people start throwing the garbage out in the street. People just...
But it was on the tree hanging from the branches.
The wind probably whipped it up and got taken to the...
And hung them perfectly on the branches?
No, the wind blowing, I don't know.
Maybe it was old Christmas decorations.
The only thing that I knew we threw up perfectly was shoes on the electrical lines, where we did them purposely. Sometimes that wind's... And
so, does that mean something? Because, okay, I'm going to tell you what I heard that I think it means. What do you mean? It means that one of your homies died.
Where'd you hear this at?
From the internets.
The internets? Like, I saw TikTok and I was like, you ever wonder why? And you're like,
I saw it on the World Wide Web.
Are you saying the bags in the trees or the shoes?
The shoes.
I was talking about the bags in the trees, so I was like...
No, I don't know why the bags were in the trees. That's besides the point. It's still weird. I don't
you know what? It
like
could be,
the shoes.
Honestly, it could be multiple definitions. We just did it to fuck around. You had an old pair, you just like, I'm going to whip this up on the shoe line. But it could be a possibility someone paying homage, or they took somebody out and they got their shoes and they leave you there like a trophy. When it comes to game life, it's all about trophy and like putting on this front. So it could be either or, maybe. I have to consult with some experts that I know. I have an expert panel. You definitely have some expert panels. You should definitely not hit them up. Let's definitely not reach out to those contacts. Yeah. So with that said, we appreciate you guys rocking out with us here for another fantastic week. Gang. Of Bona Fide Bullshit, the podcast. Wait, I just went like this. You look like you got the arthritis. Look at that. That's Bye-bye. Ducky. That's what they do. Yeah, right? For another fabulous week with us, make sure you guys check out the Skin Deep, as we mentioned to you guys before. Oh my God. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at bonafide_BS. And as always, check out with us on YouTube. Make sure you guys click, like, subscribe, and the Bona Bell. That Bona Bell, aka the notification bell, so you get notified when our videos drop Wednesdays here on all your favorite platforms. So take it easy, guys. Much love. Till next time, bitches. Peace out. You see my gang sign? I did it.